Guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog, where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. If this is your first time here to the channel, welcome. I want to thank all of you from New Tech as well as my YouTube subscriber for the likes, the shares, and the comments. All you guys do here for the channel is greatly appreciated.
All right, guys, so we're going to start this one off from a tweet from Whitney Webb. Well, this is totally normal and not at all a conflict of interest.
Is brought to you by Pfizer.
CBS Health Watch sponsored by Pfizer.
Anderson Cooper 360. Brought to you by Pfizer.
ABC News Nightline. Brought to you by Pfizer. Making a difference. Brought to you by Pfizer.
CNN Tonight. Brought to you by Pfizer.
So those were all brought to you by Pfizer. Another 33 seconds of those intros from the various networks. And as you know, as we say here often, the Democrats working alongside the mainstream media, as well as activists and special interest. The cabal, as Molly Ball calls it in her article in Time magazine, the extraordinary piece, the 6,683 word piece, describing exactly what the establishment, the cabal, was doing to influence an election. And so here we have it, the establishment in power, being bold, utilizing Joe Biden, the half-witted individual. I don't want to get too ugly with him because, of course, he does have a cognitive issue. Of course, we are aware of that as well. But nonetheless, guys, let's move on from this Pfizer montage to just a cornucopia of different articles. From the Washington Post, a trooper defying his state's vaccine mandate uses his final dispatch to tell the governor off, basically. So, in a parting message broadcast across the agency's dispatch system, he announced that he was being asked to leave because I am dirty, as in a dirty cop, referring to his defiance of the state's C-virus, almost said it, vaccine mandate for government employees. The 22-year veteran thanked his colleagues and offered some choice words for the governor. As you can see it right here, it is kiss his dairy. ESPN reporter Allison Williams leaving network after choosing not to get COVID-19 vaccine. That's right, another one down. Then we have Nick Rolovich out of Washington State over COVID vaccine mandate. Yes, it continues to build. Tennis ace ends season, admits he regrets taking COVID vaccine after feeling violent pain. And this particular tennis star, Jeremy Chardy, is out of the United Kingdom. And here in Atlanta, NBA player got blood clots from COVID vaccine that ends his season. NBA told him to keep it quiet. And then we move on to other impending issues with the vaccine mandate. More than a third of Chicago police officers defy city vaccine mandate. About 4,500 Chicago police officers didn't report their vaccine status by October the 15th, as mandated by the city, officials said Monday. That means roughly 35% of the city's 12,770 officers could be placed on no pay status in the foreseeable future. I can't even imagine what's going to happen to Chicago if that happens. But here, a memo obtained by CNN states any civilian or sworn employee who disobeys a direct order to comply with the city's vaccination policy will become the subject of a disciplinary investigation that could result in a penalty of up to and including separation from the Chicago Police Department. Furthermore, sworn members who retire while under disciplinary investigation may be denied retirement credentials. How about that? They are absolutely making sure this is going to happen. But I think if Chicago sticks to its guns, no pun intended, I think they might be able to pull this off. We saw that happen with Southwest. And of course, if you don't follow the Democrat lead, if you're not in with the establishment, if you're not following Joe Biden's edict, then of course, as you see here, you will be an insurrectionist. So Chicago mayor says police union trying to induce an insurrection with vaccine mandate opposition. Absolutely ridiculous. You see, polite society gave the left an inch to air their grievances because they couldn't psychologically and emotionally, as adults, reconcile the fact that President Trump had won the election. And I think, as Ben Shapiro said the other day, these individuals have convinced themselves within their echo chambers, within their bubbles, that they can't lose and they can get whatever they want. All they have to do is scream loud enough, throw a tantrum, be a squeaky enough wheel, and you get what you want. Right here, Netflix CEO says he screwed up while defending Dave Chappelle's special on eve of planned employee walkout. Here you have it, right here. So these employees can walk out and cause the CEO to have to, double down and walk it back. But if they had to be forced to be vaccinated, that's totally okay, apparently. And it doesn't stop there. Left is trying to cancel Handmaid's Tale. The Handmaid's Tale. You remember how many times they used the Handmaid's Tale in memes to go after President Trump? And now all of a sudden, I wonder why. Is it because it's vaccine related? I mean, you could turn this into a vaccine related thing in that Handmaid's Tale scenario, if you're familiar with the book and story. Democrats insist on linking infrastructure and budget bill has been costly for Biden. Absolutely has been. Because what people fail to realize is that he is trying to inject, no pun intended again, within the 3.5 trillion reconciliation bill, they would dramatically beef up fines for employees who willingly or repeatedly violate President Joe Biden's vaccine mandate. And the thing is, this has not been passed yet. So this is what makes it very curious to me, because first of all, you can't mandate individuals in the United States to have a procedure done on their person, not to mention the fact that we also have the Americans with Disabilities Act, because there's going to be some people that can't get injected. And as you saw there from the tennis player and from the Atlanta Hawk player, they got injected and there were side effects. There was issues with that. And there was a tweet that I had here from OSHA. Let's see if I can find it. We're going to go into the BuzWeaver archive here real quick and see if I still have it in my notes here from that tweet, and I don't seem to have it here. I thought I had it listed here, but let me see if it's up here in my backups to my stuff here. And really strange, I don't see it here either, but it was basically a statement from OSHA saying that businesses would not have to report on side effects of the vaccine. If employees get the vaccine, or companies or businesses, or perhaps probably hospitals maybe also, did not have to report the side effects of the vaccine because they don't want to frighten people. So in other words, they don't want to be honest with people. At least be honest with people. And if you're concerned that people might be concerned about it, then you just say, look, this is the deal. The vaccine is produced for this reason. We have it for these particular reasons. I mean, the CDC even avoids even talking about side effects or some of the harmful side effects and just residuals from having taken the medication, which is very sad. But it is kind of interesting how we have talked about this for quite some time. Ironically enough, it looks like Wuhan is trending here, where the original, see here says HSS, the letters, backup docs on Wuhan lab, states analysis confirms bat C virus studied under the EcoHealth Alliance grant could not have been the source of C-19 pandemic, but found EcoHealth failed to report certain findings required by the terms of the grant. Now, I wonder what else they're failing to do, as I just mentioned from OSHA, who are trying to suggest that people should not report things. So it's interesting how this is unfolding and how we're seeing individuals just leave their work, just leave their jobs, resign, say they regret having taken it, out for the entire season. So it is very interesting to see how this will conclude, because as we approach November the 1st, of course, that's when many of these companies are going to take this into effect. And as I just said a moment ago, I'm sorry, I was slightly distracted here with some background ambient activity. But basically, what's going on here is that the fines aren't even introduced yet. So the infrastructure bill hasn't even passed. Remember, we talked about this the other day when it came to Pete Buttigieg, who was saying that we needed policy to be able to get the country back on its feet again. No, what you need to do is you need to stop this ridiculous mandating and frightening people to death over their work and or getting an illness when we had to protect ourselves prior to the vaccine coming out. We could continue to practice those practices to protect ourselves. And this is what's really wrecking our economy. And it almost makes you think that it's on purpose. These shortages and backups at the ports and just the general whole deal of the Great Reset. Because we even hear Biden borrowing that phrase from the EU, the Build Back Better. Of course, Biden not known for being very original with any of his slogans or what he does in general, because of course he is the perfect surrogate for the establishment. And that's what I have for you guys this Friday.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Friday vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. Below this video, you can find the various social media platforms that I belong to include New Tech, so avail yourselves of that. And of course, I do daily post on those platforms each day. So if you follow me there, you'll be able to get some of the content that I do each day. And of course, all of you here on YouTube following now, that would be the channel icon right there on the screen. You can click on that to subscribe, along with select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all of you guys right there behind that camera next week.